This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that hype button. Let's get right into the news. All right, so the game goes on Big Boy TV with Big Boy, and Big Boy kind of grills him about, like, hey, don't you think you bring a lot of this stuff on you with LA, where, like, you know, Kendrick's not talking to you and all this other stuff? And the game kind of, like, just put it down like, listen, I did a lot for these guys, and it's not being reciprocated, and it's fine, but don't, like, let it be known. Like, answer the phone, talk about it. I'm about communication, and you guys don't let me know anything that's going on. And he said that, like, this whole thing with Drake and everything, it's like it's put him in a rock and a hard place when they started beefing, but so he didn't choose a side. He didn't go to the pop out, even though he liked the pop out, because there was a lot of gang politics there, and it wouldn't be good for him to go. I don't think he was invited, to be honest with you. I don't think they messed with him. The game, listen, the game's a complicated person, but what rapper isn't, right? And LA turned their back on the game. They used him until they didn't want him no more. And now he knows what it feels like, because he kind of did that. He did that with 50 Cent. So it's kind of like karma coming back at him. You know, like, remember, he used G-Unit to get on. They were going to drop him on the label. He turned his back on 50 Cent and went against him to take his career to another level after 50 Cent had just given him a diamond album. I see him lying on the interview saying, oh, when I made How We Do, I wanted a song like Pusha T, you know, the Clip song, Grindin'. 50 Cent gave you that song, bro. Like, you were given that song, and you just added your verses. Like, let's be real. 50 Cent showed Game how to make an album. That's how I look at it. 50 Cent showed Game how to make an album to sell, because they couldn't sell worth a lick before that. Dr. Dre was going to have to drop him. This was a favor to get him on G-Unit. He turned his back. So now LA he carried the torch for LA, and he helped. He took Nipsey on his first tour. He did a lot of songs with Kendrick in the beginning, and they all turned their back on him eventually. So now he knows what it feels like. But I don't agree with it. I think the Game was probably one of the most important artists for LA in the past 20 years, to be honest with you. Because what did they have? They had nothing back then, you know? They had OGs. But Game carried the torch. And after Game, it was kind of just, I feel like it was TDE as a collective that kind of, like, carried it to another level. But I don't know, man. I think Game gets a bad rap, to be honest with you. And I think Kendrick is the real. Kendrick is the petty one of the Drake beef. I don't care what you guys say. Like, he's hated Drake, and Drake helped him out in the beginning too. He put him on a song, 2 songs, I think. Yeah, it was 2. And guess what? All when you help people out, sometimes all it does is create animosity, and that's what happened. Lil Durk is reportedly spending around $100K per day with his Dream Team lawyers. He's fighting to keep out of prison now. It's coming out that Dooty could be co-conspirator number 4. It doesn't mean he's snitching. It means that he was one of the conspirators, you know? Meanwhile, he's outside begging NDRE for a hug outside the courtroom. Dooty is, like, desperate to be down for some reason still. You know, it's like, bro, go live your life, bro. This OTF thing is over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap, man. TrapLord Ross says that Brian Steele just told multiple lies during cross-examination. He claimed Quando Rondo anointed Little Kim. We already talked about this. Little Kim is King Tim, which is false. He talked about FBI agent on stand insanely agreed this lie was true. He also said multiple times Little Tim murdered King Von. False murder charges were dropped, and the killing was self-defense. They're trying to paint a certain narrative. But then he also commended him. He says Brian Steele did a great job pressing the FBI. Incredible lawyer, but interesting he has to lie to make certain points land. I might take a break from tweeting. Durk's team acting very unprofessional, screaming, delete the tweet in my face outside the courtroom, leading to court marshals having to step in. Very disappointing and intimidating conduct towards the press in the case. Yeah, Durk's team has hired a bunch of people with free Durk signs outside, too, kind of like how Diddy did. He says Brian Steele just told multiple lies across examination. He claimed plunder. We already talked about that. What else is going on here? And TrapLord Ross and Lawyers for Workers had this beef going on. Now he's saying, oh, this is what I expect from a YouTube news reporter talking about the case. A lot of people are upset with his reporting. Bro, you're not getting any pushback because your team Vaughn. I mean, your team Durk. That's why you're not getting any pushback. You're a lawyer, but you're a lawyer for workers, people that get injured on the job, stuff like that. He's doing this on his own dime. He's out there, and it's fine. Okay, he has good perspective because he is still a lawyer. He's just not a criminal lawyer, right? But there's no real difference between what I like what TrapLord Ross is doing because it gives it's like a raw perspective for someone that like is kind of like a fan, and that's what I want to see. Honestly, I don't want to see like a lawyer's perspective that's gonna have kind of side with the person on the stand. I want to someone that's going to be kind of objective and see both sides, But hey, that's what I want to see. I don't mind TrapLord Ross's reporting on this. Hey, he said something else in here. Let me see. He says, at TrapLord Ross, coming from general outlook of things, he wants justice no matter how it looks. It's not about free Durk. If he's actually guilty, it is what it is, as someone said in the comments. The difference between him and everybody else is he doesn't seem biased. It seems like more of you guys reporting are Team Durk. Exactly. That's how I feel about it, too. Let's see. All right, so as we know, Sauce Walker's having a bad week. He's getting exposed by baby moms, his assistant. Sauce Walker is just a horrible person, bro. He treats people horrible. That's what I'm getting from this, all right? This woman's exposing how he's jealous of everybody. He won't let people play Drake around him or a bunch of other rappers. He's jealous of streamers. He tries to use them. He openly talks about using streamers, trying to get his stream going. OnlyFans is over for him, and he's desperate. It's what it is. I don't know. Sauce Walker is just a... I don't know. I don't know what to say about Sauce Walker. At one point, it seemed like he had his own thing going, and now it seems like that was all smoke and mirrors. Meta has agreed to pay roughly $16.7 billion to settle litigation from 29 U.S. states over claims Facebook and Instagram harm children and teens' mental health through addictive design, one of the largest social media settlements to date, which really means nothing to them because they generate so much money that they can afford to lose this. I'm not saying it's like not a small amount of money. It is. It's a lot of money, but it's like, okay, let's make this go away. Like onto, and then they'll restructure something. They won't even feel it. They'll move things around, get rid of this and this. They'll save $16 billion somehow to pay this and not feel it. I'm not saying it's. I'm just saying like it's not a big deal. It's like really who does that money go to? It goes to politicians. It goes to the state and it somehow ends up in a politician's pocket. So I'm just saying like it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't really go to the kids, you know. If I were to do the settlement, I'd be like, all right, so what are you gonna do with the money? Are you gonna build like a school? You know, you're gonna do something? You know, it's like, what are you gonna do? After school programs, tutoring programs, like what? Dooty low. Did someone tease? Did some? I don't know who made this meme, but it was like Dooty low when he leave India. When India leave court, you fake hug her and try to touch her, and it shows her saying, "Why are you letting him touch me?" Anyways, this is Jordan Tao with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.